Hello, scrappy friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing day 6 and day 7 in my October daily album. Now, this day 6 ended up taking a different turn than I originally anticipated. But in the end, I think it comes out even better than what I originally thought. So that was a fun twist. So originally what I was thinking, this was just going to be a basic filler page. Every year I take a picture of my dog on one of our daily walks in a pile of leaves, and I like to put it in my album. This one, I thought it was a really cute picture, so I blew it up really large. It's 7 by 8.25, so it's going to be outside of the page protector. And there's no journaling because it's just really a pretty picture. I was going to use my Color Cast Design acrylic pieces, and ultimately I felt they kind of blended into the color palette of the picture too much. And so I had seen these Pinkfresh design embellishments. I believe it's the Good Times collection. They were near my desk, and they actually worked so much better because there's some white as well as some mustard yellow and some teal and kind of a bluish green color. It pops off the kind of brown undertones of the picture. And so I think you can see it much better. So that's what I end up going with. And I end up not using any of the original embellishment and title pieces that I thought I would. That is okay because I will use them in a different spread because they are gorgeous, but I needed them to pop off the page more. So I'm going to use this title, Autumn Leaves, and then I'm looking for different leaf type embellishments to anchor the title and go around the edges. So once I've played around with those a bit, I took the picture off to the side and I trimmed it down, trimmed all the extra white printer paper off, and now I'm going to punch the holes. I try to do this at the beginning every time just so I don't accidentally put something like an embellishment piece on top of where the hole's going to get punched. So I recommend doing that, punching your holes first. So the title piece, I wanted it popped up a little bit, so I put some foam dots on the back of it. I don't adhere it down yet because I know I'm going to tuck some of the leaves underneath, and I don't know how much space I'm going to need for that. Is it going to be a small tuck or a large? And so I'm kind of playing around again, seeing how much the leaves are going to get tucked under. I end up having a little bit of struggle with some of the those green leaves because they are curved and long, and so you'll see me adjusting those a little bit. So I was really struggling with where to put my number on this page. And because I already had an idea in my mind what day 7 was going to be, I knew for day 7 I needed a place to put my journaling. And so I thought of these pockets that go with the collection. If I use the pocket for the journaling for day 7, I can use the back side as a place for more embellishment and my numbers. So that's what I'm doing here. When we get a little bit farther in the video, you'll see the other side and how it's one of the pre-made pockets. So to get this filler page or this filler pocket into my album, I need some attacher pieces. Now I pulled out a newer die from Ellie's Studio. I think it's called the attacher die. There's 2 different shapes in there. I'm using the one that has the 3 holes. I cut out 4 pieces of that because the back side of the paper that I'm using had a color palette just didn't work with my spread or the day 7 spread. So I want to put 2 of the lighter color paper, or sort of the, I guess it's the B side, together. I pull out my album because you'll see in a minute how I like to attach my attacher pieces. But what I realize is I punched the holes in my page with the dog, and I didn't check first to see if it was going to line up properly with the hole punches from the day before. Since these are outside the page protector, they need to be adhered together. And although I do use a template to punch my holes, they don't always line up exactly right. I lucked out in this place because they're close enough. I don't have to really do any trimming on the edges, but in hindsight, I would have preferred to adhere the two pictures together and then use the hole punch from the previous day. So now that that's taken care of and I didn't really run into any problems there, I am now partially adhering the attacher pieces together. So if you see, I am putting tape just around the whole portion. The part that's going to adhere to the pocket is going to be open for now. So what I like to do is I like to put these into the album so I know exactly where they are going to go. And then I take my, in this case, the pocket, but any type of ephemera, and then I move that towards the attacher pieces, just like that. And then that way I can make sure everything is lined up the way I want. Now, because there is more detail on what's going to be day 7, it dawns on me that I really need to line them up based on this side of the pocket, even though I'm not quite working on there yet. But I don't want the wreath or the words to be obscured from my attachers. So I had a little bit of tape, just enough to hold the attachers to the pocket, and then I'm going to put more adhesive down so it is secure. And then just rub off some of the extra then. So now this is ready for the final embellishing. And just double checking that it's adhered strong. You could also use double-sided tape if you wanted to make sure it was adhered well and wasn't going to come apart. The only caveat with that is that if you line the attacher piece up crooked or not quite right, you won't be able to remove it if it's got some super strong adhesive. So I thought the dot roller worked really well. So now on the right side, I loved this wreath shape. It matched the leaves in my picture perfect, and so I'm going to use that as the base to put my number. And then I found this green kind of word phrase that matched the green, kind of teal almost, in the leaves on the left side. Also sort of matches the leash, but that's not what I was specifically matching. And I think it just works great. I love how these two sides came together, and I love that I got to use some extra embellishments. I'm always, that's part of the best part of the collections half the time, and I always want to use as much as I can without looking like I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff on my page. So that was fun to just have a page to play with. And off camera, I was playing with a lot more of the embellishment pieces for the right side, trying to make it a lot more detailed, and in the end I ended up just keeping it very simple. It really just needed a place to put the number. So now I am putting some of the mustard colored leaves kind of as a diagonal of each other. I wanted both sides to not be an exact mirror of each other, but to seem similar. And so one of these mustard is a cardstock, and one of these mustard yellow leaves is a sticker. And these sort of fern-like leaves, right here, I am doctoring it a little bit because it was just sticking out too much and curving too much. And so I have a second piece now that I can use somewhere else on a different project. So for this video, I thought I was going to end on day 6, but I'm actually going to combine day 6 and day 7 together in this video. And the reason for that, when I first set out to do these pages, they're both single pages, and I have no intention of making them coordinate or making them like a double page spread. But the colors did go together, and I did pull both pages together because I just didn't want anything that I designed or embellishments that I put on to clash with each other. In the end, I end up using the same collection to decorate both sides. And I don't think, again, that we need to do that. They can both be standalone pages, but in this particular case, that's what ends up happening. So this Good Game cardstock kind of title came from a different Pinkfresh collection. The name is escaping me right now, but it'll come to me a little bit. And these are pictures of my son doing fall baseball. We spent a lot of time at the ballparks for his games. And so these pictures are just a collection of various games and him playing. I knew I wanted to use that Good Game title, and now I'm playing around with some of the stickers and ephemera pieces. I decided, I don't do this very often, but I wanted to put some embellishment on top of the page protector. I didn't really feel each individual picture needed embellishing, but I wanted something to just kind of coordinate the whole page together. And what worked best, or what looked the best, was to have something sort of in the corner of each of the pictures, so the center of the whole spread. To do that, I needed to put the embellishments on the outside. And I end up really loving it at the end. So right now I'm just looking at some word phrase stickers that I think might coordinate. I did find one that I was going to use, and in the end totally forgot to put it back on. I loved that green. I really liked how it coordinated with the green on the other side of the page on the dog's picture. But in the end I forgot to put it back on, which is fine. So I am using one of the cardstock ephemera pieces. I am sticking it down with the title of Good Game. I also liked the words on Seize the Day. I thought that went really good with a sports and plain spread. So I guess either one could be my title. So I've had this tag, pre-designed craft cardstock tag, and I thought about using it because there are browns in the field, but I wanted to at least try doing a white tag. So I'm just taking some American Crafts cardstock and punching out a tag to see if I like the white versus the craft color, and I do like the white better. It kind of blends better. Initially, I am thinking I was going to do a gold number, very similar to the gold 6 that I did on the other side. That was my original plan. And after I looked at it, you almost couldn't see it. It was so small and just blended in. So this collection had this really pretty kind of teal green thicker set that had some numbers on it. So I pull out the 7 and I put it where I think I'm going to want it. And then I started putting some enamel dots down. I love the 3 enamel dots on the right side. I thought it was perfect with my cluster and the flowers. Now I'm trying to put some enamel dots on the left side. And one thing that I find so hysterical is every time, I think in life in general, when I try to do something that looks like I just casually threw these down and they just landed in this great place, it doesn't work. And so I'm moving them around multiple times trying to figure out where will they look the best. And I do want some enamel dots on the left side. So I get a little frustrated and just put it to the side. And now I want to put some reinforcer circles on my tag, and this green color is going to be perfect. It's the back side of the paper that I use for my attacher tabs, and the green is a great addition color-wise. So I end up here, I moved my 7 over to my flower cluster, and I really like how it looks there. It pops off better. I think it looks like it goes with the cluster well, and that gives me a little bit of space at the bottom of the Seize the Day where I can put some enamel dots, and I like that part. So let's see. Oh, I think what I'm doing now is I'm just seeing how it looks in the album. And what I really like about this is because the insert page, or the tab, not the tab, I'm sorry, the pocket is so small, you do see day 6 and day 7 so well that it is kind of nice that they coordinate really well together. The colors go, and I really like how they looked next to each other. So now it's time to do my journaling. I printed out my journaling on sticker paper. And then what I'm going to do, you can tell that it's a little wider, but I did measure that my type was going to fit on the tag. And then what I end up doing is just trimming the extra sticker paper off right there, so it fits on the tag well. After doing this, I end up putting a bow on my tag. I do think I pull out a few different ribbon colors before I ultimately decide which one I want to go with. But right there is my journaling. I do my journaling in Photoshop Elements, and so I measured how wide and tall the tag was going to be, so I knew how much journaling space I had, and that's how I knew that it was going to fit once I printed it. I loved using the sticker paper for my journaling. This was a great place to do that. I have tried to put tags in my printer before, like printing off onto a card, like a 3x4 card, and I don't have problems printing on the 3x4 card, but the tags have often gotten stuck in my printer. So the sticker paper has worked really well for this. So ultimately, I'm trying some different browns, greens, twine, and ultimately I decide that this brown color has a very fall vibe. It goes with the brown from the leaf on the other page, and it also goes with the brown from the fields. And I really like how that all comes together. So that is my day 6 and my day 7. I hope you like the process video for how these came together. I really liked putting them together, and these are some of my favorite pages. I just love the colors. It was really fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day.